There are moments when you're all alone in a crowd, but suddenly your phone runs out of battery. How would you feel? Panic? Anxious? Or perhaps, the worst of all, afraid to face your own thoughts? Greetings everyone, honorable judges, and distinguished audience. My name is Virgilia Wulan from Universitas Negeri, Malang, and it's such an honor for me to stand here to deliver my speech. I strongly believe that Nomophobia is not the real problem, but instead, it's our fear of being left alone with our own thoughts. At this point, you might ask, why does fear exist? Psychologists explain that when we're not engaged in any activity, our brains tends to repeat the same thought, that increasing anxiety and insecurity. Now, with the presence of smartphones, this device becomes an instant escape from such discomfort. We instinctively reach for our phones when silence appears, not out of necessity, but as a coping mechanism, especially among the younger generation. And true, it is not technology that creates this fear, but technology that temporarily covers it up. In modern life, this fear quietly shapes the way we live. As we remain constantly connected online, we slowly lose our ability to sit with ourselves. Our attentions become fragmented, our thoughts restless, and our mind rarely at ease. Socially, this fear pushes us to stay updated and constantly visible. We scroll not because we are curious anymore, but because we're afraid of being left behind, fearful of missing out. Ironically, the more connected we become, the less emotionally present we are. Not only with others, but even with ourselves. We live in a world full of notifications, yet many of us feel internally disconnected. I stand here as someone familiar with this fear, so you're not alone. There are moments when silence makes me uncomfortable enough to reach for my phone simply to avoid my own thoughts. This realization became more serious when I understood that the problem is not the silence itself, but it's my unwillingness to face it. I'm not here to tell you to not using your phone or to withdraw from the flow of information. Instead, I am learning to stay. To sit with my thoughts, to accept discomfort, and to understand myself without distractions. So perhaps, nomophobia is not the fear of losing our phones, but the fear of facing ourselves in the moments of silence. And in a world that never stops talking, maybe the bravest thing we can do is to pause, to listen, and finally face our own thoughts.